biggest thing we talk to our players about is we need to down the ball. We were pretty good in the red zone, pretty good at taking it away on Saturday, but just Ezekiel Elliott's a guy that you can't give him a crease, and a couple times we weren't able to, if we misfit it or one guy's not in his gap, we've got to be able to down it, whether it's 25, 30-yard gain, we got to be able to down it to play another play. And that's something that was very disappointing Saturday, that we weren't able to, one of the three big plays. All of their touchdowns were made outside the red zone, so we've got to do a much better job at really emphasizing getting guys in better positions to be able, if it pops through, down the ball. Penn State has some great skill that if we don't take care of that problem, they can hurt us, certainly.
One of those plays was a 4th and 1 where everybody's going to be coming up anyway. That happens sometimes, but was part of it just being cognizant of the run and the safeties being up too high?
Well, again, we knew we had to be able to limit the run. We did a nice job in the first half limiting the run, and it's not that they made a ton of adjustments at halftime. I think we just one or two of the plays, we just got out of our gap. They did a little bit better job getting up to the next level and getting on our linebackers. And then again, we didn't have a guy in position, which we're working on. Just being able to down that ball. He's a great running back. I think we've seen over the last 6 months, he's done some great things in the open field, and we've got to be able to down it.
Answering this a little bit already, but how do you evaluate a defensive performance where, on the one hand, you do give up these really harmful, explosive plays, but if you kind of separate those out, everything else probably generally looks good, particularly when you consider the level of competition you're
I think we feel like we preach consistency with our guys, and it kind of shows them what they can do. And I think there's some confidence in that we can, when we're playing well, we're playing together. Maybe not necessarily the right call, but if we're all playing that same call, we can be pretty dangerous. But on the other hand, when you give up big plays, you're not going to beat anybody.
That was a pretty big problem last year.
Huge problem.
Different this year?
Well, I just think we've emphasized it. Two things we've emphasized, and I think with your players, you can't emphasize a ton of things. You got to really focus on and make a big deal out of a few things. One was turnovers. We've been pretty opportunistic from a turnover standpoint, and we studied in the off season how our teams, the teams that get the big turn, is it certain drills, and we've really went away from all of our turnover drills and just preached effort and aggressiveness. A guy like Marcus Oliver is one of the top cause fumble guys in the country. And so I just think effort-wise, and then to answer your question on the red zone is we've really spent a lot more time during the week in the red zone. And I think our guys kind of simplified things in the red zone, and they're playing faster, no doubt.
Marcus in particular, and I think you've been asked this before, but is there something, I guess, is there a different quality that just randomly pops up in guys that they just kind of have a nose for? It seems like if he's not forcing fumbles, and maybe it's a special talent he has, or maybe it's just something you can't really explain. He just kind of winds up there when the ball's on the ground. I
think there are players like that. Certainly, we're very fortunate. We got two inside backers, Tigray Scales and Marcus Oliver, are both, have shown that they have a knack for being able to, whether it's cause a turnover, or in Tigray's case, that was a heck of a catch. So he's got great instincts from an ability to read defense, the quarterback, and has done a real nice job over the last year and a half that he's been playing, being able to create takeaways. I think he's got 4 or 5, and he's just played a year and a half.
Penn State's offense has struggled a little bit this year, a little bit banged up at running back. What have you seen from them on the field?
Well, I think what we've seen from them is obviously their quarterback's one of the top in the country when he's firing. There's no doubt. He's a very talented player, and you got to respect his ability to throw the ball. At the wideout position, they'll be as talented as anybody we face. And their backfield, the young freshman that's been hurt, watching him, and then the 22 from last year, got us on a big run. So from a skill standpoint, they are a talented group that if we don't do a good job at downing the ball, keeping the big plays, they can hurt you with a big play standpoint.